Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my September TBR. Honestly, I feel like August flew by, so I'm definitely interested to see how my reading's gonna go in September. So there are 2 prompts that will be going into the jar again for another chance at being picked in the month of September. So the prompts going back in are oldest book on Goodreads TBR and highest rated book on Goodreads TBR. So these are the only 2 books off of my TBR from August that I did not read, so I will be putting those back into the jar for the opportunity to be picked again. So this month I am going to be doing 8 picks again, but I do have a planned buddy read as well as my book club pick for the month that I am going to try to squeeze into the TBR, and hopefully a prompt will fit one of those books, but if not, then that is 2 books that I will be reading regardless. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our first pick. So pick number 1 is a college romance. Okay, so for a college romance, I'm going with The Chase by Elle Kennedy. I did read Elle Kennedy's Off-Campus series many years ago now at this point, and it was one of my favorite series of all time at one point, and I've since reread the series and still really like those books. So I am going to try the spin-off series that follows one of the sisters of one of the guys in that first series. So I am excited to read more from Elle Kennedy. I have read a few of her books in the past, and so I'm super excited to get into the Briar U series. So that is what I'm using for pick number 1. Pick number 2. Pick number 2 is a book that has been recommended to you. And so for a book that has been recommended to me, I'm going with The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. And this companion series has actually been recommended to me by my friend Belisa, so I'm super excited to hopefully pick this book up and read it in the month of September. I've heard really amazing things about this companion series. On to pick number 3. Pick number 3 is to read the longest book on my TBR. So for this, I'm gonna do the longest book on my physical TBR. So I'm going to go to Goodreads and go to my shelf that I have for my physical TBR, and this shelf isn't like super accurate. Like, it is missing a few books, like mostly ones that I recently just added. But so there are 88 books to choose from on this list, so I'm just going to go number of pages. Okay, and so right now it's showing as like shortest to longest, so we're just gonna hit reverse. Okay, so the first book is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare, and I'm not caught up in that series, so that is not the one that I'm going to be reading. So it looks like the second longest one is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, which honestly I do think that this is the longest book on my physical TBR as it is anyway. So it looks like the book that I'm going to be reading is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Now I am very intimidated by this book since it is very long and chunky, so I'm definitely interested to see if I'm going to be able to get to this in the month of September, but I hope so because I've heard really amazing things about this book. On to pick number 4. Y'all, also I know my hair is it's soaking wet. I just got out the shower. But so pick number 4, we have A Second Chance Romance. Okay, so for Second Chance Romance, I'm going with 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I have heard amazing things about this book and I cannot wait to read this. I have been kind of intimidated by this book just because I've heard such amazing things about it, but fingers crossed that I can get to this in the month of September. On to pick number 5. Pick number 5 is Purple on the Cover. Okay, so for Purple on the Cover, I'm going with You with a View by Jessica Joyce, and it is like the tiniest itty-bittiest amount of purple on the cover, but I am counting it because I really want to read this book. So for Purple on the Cover, this is the book that I'm going with. I've heard amazing things about this book, and especially the second book after this one, so I'm super excited to hopefully read this in September. On to pick number 6. Pick number 6 is a book written by multiple authors. So for a book written by multiple authors, I'm going with Addicted After All by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I have been meaning to finish the series for the longest time and still just have not, so I am hoping that I can pick this up and continue on with the series in the month of September. On to pick number 7. So for pick number 7, I got Author's Name Starts with A, and for Author's Name Starts with A, I'm going with The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, and this is actually my book club pick for the month on my book club over on Fable. So if you are not a part of that and you would like to read this book with us in the month of September, then I will have the link in the description for you to join. So hope to see you there. But I'm super excited to read this book. I've heard amazing things about it. On to pick number 8, our last and final pick. So for pick number 8, we got Yellow on the cover. And for Yellow on the cover, I'm going with Ready or Not by Cara Stone. And this works out perfectly because this is my buddy read that I'm reading with my friend Steph over on Once Upon a Bookish Steph. So I'm super excited to be reading this in September. This cover is honestly so pretty. The colors are just so cute. So I'm super excited to read this book in the month of September. So some honorable mentions that I'm hoping to get to in September but are not obviously on my TBR, but I just am hopefully will get to them, is Bridesmaid Undercover by Megan Quinn. This is the second book in this like standalone companion series, the Bridesmaid for Hire series, and I really enjoyed the first one when I read it, so I'm super excited to pick up the second one. So this is on the radar but not a priority. And then also we have Blood and Steel by Helen Scher. So this again is on the radar but not a priority, but for some reason this book has just been calling to me lately, so I'm super excited to hopefully pick this up in the month of September. So these are the books that I'm hoping to read in the month of September. I feel like this is a really good TBR. The only one that I'm really like actually nervous about is The Priory of the Orange Tree, because I just know that that's probably going to take me a little while to read. So I'm definitely interested to see if I'm going to like that one or how long it is going to take me to read that one. But I am super excited about this TBR. I hope you guys are excited about it as well. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books or if you're planning on reading of these books, and if you have read them, what you thought about them, if you loved them, if you hated them. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. If you've made it to this far in the video, leave a bicycle emoji for the guy on the cover of this book. And yeah, so with that being said, I will see you guys hopefully in my next video. Bye.